If you have Pokemon sitting in Pokemon Bank right now, from Ruby and Sapphire, Diamond and Pearl, Black and White, X and Y, and from Sun and Moon, you have about 6 months to save them. After that, they're gone. Not difficult to get, they're completely unavailable to get on the Nintendo Switch. And the part no one's talking about yet is buried in the fine print of this announcement. So stick around, because if you skip step 3 in this video, you could lose access permanently even if you think you're safe. Let's get the facts straight first, because there's a lot of misinformation already spreading. The Pokemon Company just confirmed it. Pokemon Bank, the 3DS cloud storage app that has been running quietly since 2013, is ending service on February 25th, 2027 at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. That's Pokemon Day weekend, which is a strange time to bury this news, or maybe not so strange, and I'll get to why in a second. Once the clock hits 0, two things happen simultaneously. You can no longer store Pokemon in Bank, and you cannot transfer anything from Pokemon Bank into Pokemon Home. And that part is the one that should worry you. Here's the context that makes this different from a normal server shutdown. Pokemon Bank isn't just storage, it's a bridge. It's the only official bridge between the old 3DS games, Ruby and Sapphire, Diamond and Pearl, Black and White, X and Y, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, Sun and Moon, and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and the modern Switch ecosystem. Once that bridge collapses, there is no other way to officially transfer from 3DS to Switch. Think about what that means for a second. Somewhere out there, someone has a Pokemon they caught on their Gen 5 cartridge in 2011. 15 years of memory attached to that one Pokemon, and after the date, there will be no legitimate way on Earth that they can move that to the Switch. Not bank, not transporter, nothing. That's not an exaggeration. This shutdown effectively seals off well over half the franchise's history from ever reaching current games again through official means. Now here's the detail I mentioned at the top, the one buried in the announcement that a lot of coverage is glossing over. You haven't been able to download Pokemon Bank since 2023, aka when the 3DS eShop shut down. So if you already have it installed on your device, great. But if you deleted it or you're setting up a new 3DS to do this transfer, there is no official way to reinstall it unless if you have mods. That means for a chunk of people watching this, the real deadline already happened years ago and they don't know it yet. If you're not sure whatever you still haven't installed, pause this video right now and go check your 3DS right now. Okay, if it's there, good, you still have a shot. If it's gone, I'll talk about your actual or remaining options later in this video, because there is still a workaround, just not an official one. Let's make this actionable. Here's exactly what you do before February 25th, 2027. Step 1, confirm Pokemon Bank is installed and openable on your 3DS. Step 2, make sure you have a Pokemon Home account set up on your Switch, your iPhone, or your Android device. Home is the modern replacement. It's free to create, but the free tier only holds 30 Pokemon. Step 3, and this is the one people miss. If you have more than 30 Pokemon to move and you've been playing since the 3DS era, you almost certainly do need a home plan. That's $16 a year, and it raises your storage to 6,000 slots. And also, you do need the premium plan to transfer Pokemon. There's also an update coming this October that pushes premium storage up to 9,000 slots instead of the 6,000 slots at no extra cost if you have the home premium plan. So if you can wait a couple months to subscribe, you'll get more room for the same price. Step 4, actually run the transfer from bank to home. Don't leave this for February, do it this month. Okay, so here's the pivot, because I promised this wasn't just doom and gloom. The same announcement that killed Bank also confirms something Pokemon fans have wanted. Pokemon Home will officially connect to the Switch re-releases of Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. That means Kanto era Pokemon caught in those new versions can flow straight into Home and onward into Scarlet and Violet and Pokemon Legends EA, and whatever comes next. No cartridge, no 3DS, no bank required. So this strategy here is pretty clearly, the Pokemon Company is closing the old bridge right as it opens a shinier new one. That's worth remembering, because it tells you where the franchise's cloud strategy is actually headed for the next several years, and I think that changes how you should think about your own collection going forward. More on that at the end. Let's be blunt about the stakes, because you might lose some Pokemon. Pokemon only exists on the Generation 5 cartridge, Black and White 2, and it never got moved to bank before the shutdown. It is stuck there forever. Not until the next game, forever, unless you're willing to go the homebrew or emulator route, which carries its own risk and isn't something official. There's also a special ribbon tied to Pokemon that made the full journey from Generation 3 all the way to Gen 6 via bank. Collectors specifically hunt for that. After that shutdown, the entire achievement path closes for good. If you're a completionist, that's the kind of thing you'll regret missing by one deadline you didn't know existed. Here's something almost no other coverage of this story is mentioning, and it's the actual reason I wanted to make this video instead of just reading you the press release. Pokemon Bank going free and running quietly for years already told us the writing on the wall. A legacy app running on hardware Nintendo itself stopped supporting online for back in 2024. This shutdown isn't really the surprising part. The surprising part is the timing, landing right on Pokemon Day weekend, paired with genuine expansion of Home. That combination, kill the old system, expand the new one, same announcement, is a pattern. For everyone who checked earlier and found that Bank isn't on their device anymore, I haven't forgotten about you. Your realistic options are limited and none of them are officially sanctioned by the Pokemon Company. So I'm not going to walk through homebrew methods in detail here. What I will say is, this is exactly the kind of situation where doing more research before attempting anything matters. Because save file corruption is a real risk with unofficial tools. If that is your situation, drop a comment now. Consider a dedicated follow-up video walking through the safer options step by step. So here's your action list. One more time, fast. Bank shuts down on February 25th, 2027. Check right now if Bank is still installed on your device. Set up Pokemon Home. Get premium if you're going to transfer. Transfer everything as fast as you can. And Fire Red and Leaf Green support will be coming in October for Pokemon Home. If this saves even one of your Pokemon from being stuck together, that's genuinely why I made this video. Subscribe if you want the follow-up on recovery options for people who already lost bank access, because I'm already digging into that one next.